So it is officially January, and we are getting an officially January-style theatrical release this weekend, as James Wan and Jason Blum have teamed up for a new company, or they're combined their forces into a new company, and their first release is Night Swim. And I didn't know anything about this movie until a couple months ago when people started messaging me, and they're like, "Wait, Newt, this is a lot like a script that you wrote." And I went, oh no. Now, granted, this video is not me saying anybody ripped me off, any fucking shit like that, so don't start that crap. It's just the irony of this big release that's coming out based on something that I was told. Why the fuck would anybody want to see that? And it's going to make its money because it's PG-13 and it's got big names behind it. All right, so way back in 2015, I was working with this dude out in Portland. He used to be with Parade Deck Films. I think they're Plain Morning Films now. They had done stuff like this paper mache boulder is actually really heavy. Wolf Cop 2, Man from Earth 2, Bad Grandmas, which was like the last movie that Mrs. Brady ever made. So the dude came to me and he was like, "Hey, so I got a title and a couple beats I want. Do you want to write the script that would become Satan's Slumber Party?" And I was like, "Fuck yeah, man. Like that'd be awesome." Thinking this will be like a quick turnaround thing. Actually, it was when he came out he was in the military. He came out to Philadelphia for a thing with like some guys he served with. And while he was there, he came to my theater for the premiere of like the late night screening of Spider-Man Homecoming. So we got to talking and he kind of gave me all the beats, and I turned around in a couple weeks and I wrote him a screenplay for Satan's Slumber Party. And it had the movie theater in it. It had all the elements that he had asked for. Dude he was working with, the money guy, was like, yeah, I don't know. I want it to be a little bit more like this and a little bit more like this. They were kind of leaning for something a little bit more like Sorority Babes and a Slimeball Bolorama. They wanted kind of a very early David Dakota-esque kind of thing, less Evil Dead-ish. So fine, went back a couple times, rewrote. Then they came to me and they're like, well, what if we took the movie theater element away and we put it in a hotel? What if we did this? What if we made an anthology? Yada, yada, yada. So we tried a lot of different drafts over a course of years. I had a poster put together that Steven Sestelli did the poster for. I got Joe from Movie Dumpster to come and shoot and cut a teaser trailer that featured Fallon and the redhead that I used to work with. So we got it to a place where they liked it, and we did casting at my theater, and we had a table read, and then nothing happened with it. And in the period of time it was taking for nothing to happen with it, the dude came back to me. He's like, all right, well, let's try and get something a little bit smaller going first. All right, that's fine. What do you want to do? Well, let's see something that's got one location. We need like a really unconventional kind of cheesy monster. And we need an excuse for girls to be in like bathing suits. Okay. I was at the dollar store near my then apartment. I was still working at the theater at the time, and they had it was the beginning of fall, and they put all their summer shit on sale. So they had like a lot of like inflatable like pool toys and like those pool noodles and stuff like that were all like super, super cheap. So holy shit, pool toys, let's try it. So I wrote them. Floaters was the original title, and the script was about in the 1950s, this woman has what basically is an interdimensional hell portal in her backyard, and she doesn't want it there anymore. So their big plan is to build a swimming pool over it. So they build an in-ground pool over it, and they have a psychic come out and say some kind of special magic words, and they're like, look, as long as nobody ever reads from this sheet out loud, it's contained, so just don't leave this laying around. Flash forward to modern day when I wrote this movie back in 2018, and it's now an Airbnb. And of course, they leave the secret magic words laying out willy nilly, and some girls that are hanging out there for a girls' weekend read it and accidentally release the evil, and the pool's possessed, and all the pool toys come alive, and wackiness ensues. Uh, and then the other girls come up and they have to slowly put the pieces of this mystery together as all this shit happens. And you have, a girl gets eaten by the inflatable crocodile in the pool, and the pool noodles go all Evil Dead tree vines on one girl, they're it's stupid. It was stupid, and it was going to cost no money to make, and it was really cheesy. And Yeah, so we even shot the opening scene with the two girls talking when I worked at Screenwave. It was with the redhead and with my beautiful friend Nicole. Amanda was playing Nicole in it. Arms, chick's like a real life Barbie doll, and so they shot that whole opening scene. And then we changed the title to from floaters to the Amityville Pool Toy Massacre, because at the time it was really easy for you to sell a movie that had Amityville in the title. So it was just this one location, haunted swimming pool type of thing. And when I say like, oh, I'm not saying they ripped me off, because a swimming pool or water being used as a conduit is nothing new. It's been done 100,000 times. One of the last ever Twilight Zone episodes had the kids going into the swimming pool and then coming out in another time and place and all that. And then there's like all the creepy swimming pool footage from like the Paranormal Activity movies and all that kind of stuff. But I was like, nobody had done like, the swimming pool toys as the bad guy and anything. And then having, I wanted to do that scene from The Birds where Tippi Hedren comes outside and all the birds are out like on the pool, on the jungle gym and all that kind of stuff. But it's all with those inflatable swans that you can get at like pool stores or dollar stores for like the swimming pool. There'd be like an inflatable shark that you can get, and all that stuff was in there. It was all like lots and lots of cheesy water and pool based kills, and the guy who owns the general store is like the Jed in Pet Cemetery. He knows the past of the place, and then the twist ending at the end was the person who oversees the property shows up, and you see all the blood and the pool skimmer with the head in it and all, and he's like, it happened again. So this is something that happens a lot there. But yeah, it was like a 80-page script that I rewrote a couple times, for these guys, and nothing ever happened with it. And now that Night Swim's coming out, I'll automatically, if I've ever made this, get blamed for ripping off Night Swim. But the redhead read it a long time ago, and she knows that I wrote it way before Night Swim. And Jeffrey Parker in Alabama wanted to make it for a while, so I rewrote it for him a couple times and took like the more salacious elements out of it, so that it was less, less booberific as it was before. And then the dude from Portland, he knows about it too. So, it'll never get made now, but I thought I would share my story of floaters, which then became the Amityville Pool Toy Massacre. And if you go back in my social media, and you'll see the pictures of the redhead and of Amanda from that shoot, and me talking about it in the past. If only I had Kurt Russell's son and James Wan, I'd be able to have made it. But it was just a fun, dumb idea of like, taking something that, why would you make a horror movie out of haunted pool toys or a haunted pool? And I tried it, and I wrote it real fast, and I rewrote it a couple times for this dude's, and it never happened. And now this thing's out, and it's getting terrible reviews. So it pretty much killed any chance of my pool toy movie ever happening. But I just wanted to share that little tidbit, because it's one of the screenplays. It's on my desktop that's been sitting there for a while, that I'm always like, come on, we can shoot this at an Airbnb or something like that and be done with it. And it never happened, It's like with, like I said in my public domain one, like, I was trying to turn kids characters into slasher movie characters a while ago, and everybody was like, nobody wants to see that, and now people want to see it. I'm always ahead of the curve. Now all YouTubers are using ChatGPT. I did it, and it ruined my entire life. And again, when I pitched the script around in 2021, and they were like, nobody wants to see a movie about a haunted swimming pool. So we'll see what the box office totals for James Wan and Blumhouse are this weekend. But yeah, I'm not going to spend 20 something bucks to go see Night Swim. If anybody wants to read my script, just hit me up and I'll send it to you. It's really cheesy and dumb and funny, and and it has inflatable pool toy an inflatable pool. Somebody gets like I wanted to do the scene from Deadly Friend where the first Buffy the Vampire Slayer throws the fucking basketball and hits Mama Fratelli from the Goonies, and her head explodes. I have that, but it's with a beach ball after it bounces down the stairs slowly, like the famous scene in The Changeling, and just combine a bunch of that shit together. Wild Eye, you could have had it. You could have had it all. I could have made this movie for nothing. Oh well, I keep doing this because I have something stuck in my tooth because I ate right before I did this, so it's weird. I'm sorry. I probably should have, brush before we got going, but I wanted to talk about this while it was in my head because I keep getting messages of people being like, "Are you going to see Night Swim this weekend?" I'm just like, we were going to do the underwater stuff because we had tested it. We got the underwater camera that we wound up using to shoot the opening scene for Shark Exorcist 2 that I shot with the old YouTube channel that they deleted the footage of because they didn't want to be associated with me. So it's like all these things all were together and now they're all apart. But at one point, and you can verify my story just by going back and looking at the socials of like, oh yeah, they did shoot that thing there with they did shoot that thing there, and oh yeah, he did talk about that there. See, I'm not being an egomaniac. Well, I usually am, but yeah, that's it. So that's sort of my review of Night Swim. That I could have made floaters or the Amityville Pool Toy Massacre once, but that time has passed. There's a couple other movies coming out this year that I was like, oh, I have a similar script to that. So I guess it's just an excuse to reduce, reuse, and recycle by talking about the shit that I sat down and wrote that'll never see the light of day. So if you did see Night Swim, let me know what you thought. And yeah, that was it. I just wanted to do a little Newt screenwriting story time. There were some really funny fucking jokes in this one and some good banter and kills and stuff. So, I'll find a way to recycle them into something else that I write. It's not plagiarism if you rip yourself off, right?